Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
General Hospital spoilers allude that Sasha Gilmore Corbin may return for a Michael Corinthos and Jacinda Bracken love triangle. Will Daisy Gilmore's mama want a united family when she eventually comes home to Port Charles? GH suckers know Sasha was concerned for the safety of her baby girl after multiple snooper incidents, so she left PC with Daisy. Although Michael didn't try to stand in the way, it broke his heart to watch Sasha and Daisy go. Of course, that snooper mess was Willow Kane's fault. Willow's sneaky felonious jest cost Michael the chance to be near his youthful son, so she deserves to pay for that at some point. Anyhow, there may come a time when Sasha chooses to settle down with Daisy in Port Charles again. Sasha may decide the peril has passed and that she's ready to make PC her home formerly more. GH Pens are presently working on a story to air latterly in 2026 that'll give Robert Scorpio a proper salutation. Sasha's loved bones might move her to stick around after Robert's burial and spare on them for support. Michael would be excited over Sasha staying in city with Daisy, but how would that affect his love with Jacinda? It's clear that Jacinda and Michael have a real spark that could lead to important deeper relationship. Just when Michael's thinking he might live happily ever after with Jacinda, that's when Sasha and Daisy could meet the picture. It could force Michael to reevaluate effects a bit, especially if familiar passions for Sasha bubble back over. Michael could start milling over the idea of erecting a united family with Sasha, Daisy, Wiley Corinthos, and Amelia Corinthos down the road. Jacinda could find herself upset that she can't contend with the mama of Michael's child and the history they partake. Nonetheless, Michael could be torn about his romantic path forward. Giving up Jacinda wouldn't be an easy decision for Michael, but another part of him might long for Sasha and a new chapter. However, that could be a game changer and lead to their reunion, if Sasha changes her mind about raising Daisy alongside Michael. General Hospital spoilers suggest Sasha's return could shake effects up ultimately, so stick with us for on any major appearances and goings news. General Hospital has Willow Tate staying to get the verdict at the end of this week. Will she be set up shamefaced or not shamefaced of shooting her bodacious but horrible hubby, Drew Kane Quartermain? No matter how the jury rules, Willow's life is going to change drastically veritably soon. We're gonna talk about what's coming for Willow if the jury finds her not shamefaced. And what kind of twists could be coming. Will the jury deliver a not shamefaced verdict on General Hospital? So, we may find out the verdict at the end of this week. But there's a chance it could carry over onto Monday if General Hospital wants a huge Friday thriller moment. So, we're going to find out if Alexis Davis induced that jury that Willow is innocent of shooting Drew. Despite Alexis misspeaking during her ending argument, which I feel was purposeful, I completely anticipate the veritably adulatory outgrowth of Willow scoring a not shamefaced verdict from the jury. And if Alexis did her job and Willow's acquitted, we're going to talk about what awful effects she might do next. Willow's plan to frame Michael Corinthos for firing Drew on GH. First of all, assuming that she's vindicated, the first thing I suspect is that Willow is going to do her position stylish to get Michael Corinthos charged with Drew's firing. We know Willow's been playing this whole victim thing, persuading everybody that she truly believes Michael shot Drew and also framed her for it. With Willow playing innocent and Alexis throwing Michael under the machine at trial, you know DA Justine Turner is going to be eager to press charges against Notoriety differently. This was a high-profile firing. The DA cannot let it go. So, I can see Willow doubling down to make sure that Michael is charged and tried and set up shamefaced. I mean, heck, Willow might indeed go on the record and make up some effects to make Michael look shamed. She can fib and say that she heard Michael hanging Drew. I mean, Willow prevaricated under pledge and she's been lying through her teeth to everybody. So, you know, what's another taradiddle or 2 or 3? A poisonous custody battle for Wiley and Amelia on General Hospital now. The coming thing I anticipate, assuming we get this not shamefaced verdict, is that Willow is obviously going to incontinently try and get her kiddies back. I don't know if Rick Lansing will keep representing Willow since he and Sonny Corinthos made peace. But also again, we also know Sonny doesn't agree with Michael about keeping Willow down from the kiddies. And if Rick doesn't represent her, that's not going to stop Willow from pursuing this guardianship case. However, also Willow may turn to Martin Gray for help getting her kitties back since he works for Drew, if it's not Rick repping her. Willow may get her counsel to file an exigency request for guardianship because if DA Justine has Michael under disquisition, I suppose Willow could make a play for sole guardianship of Wiley Quartermain Corinthos and Amelia Grace Corinthos. Willow keeps the kitties from Michael. From there, she'd presumably try to keep the kitties down from Michael in vengeance for him keeping them down from her. It's bad enough that Willow tortured Sasha Gilmore to the point that she left the country and took Michael's youthful son, Daisy, with her. Now, Michael doesn't get to see Daisy at all. For Willow to take his other kitties, that would be terrible. But also veritably typical jest. For Willow. She may have her counsel tell the court that grounded on Michael being delved for shooting Drew. And because he's courting Jacinda Bracken, a coitus worker, also Willow should get the kitties. I'm sure Michael will argue that Jacinda is out of the companion business. But Willow will presumably would have her counsel contend that Michael thinks Drew, who is a Solon, a former Navy SEAL, and a stager, is a threat to be around Willow and the kitties. But ever a cocotte is okay. I'm not casting aspersions on Jacinda, I'm just saying that's how they would presumably approach it in court. They could indicate that Michael's a suspected tried killer and is using veritably poor judgment about who he lets around the kitties. Willow dumps Drew Kane and invokes double jeopardy on General Hospital. Another thing I suspect is coming for Willow is that she goes ahead and she dumps Drew hard. Willow may stay until she gets Wiley and Amelia back, or realizes she doesn't need Drew to get her kitties back. Willow may tell Drew, you know what? I detest you. I want a divorce. And by the way, I shot you. But go ahead, feel free to have Michael fulfilled because I can't be charged for the crime. That's double jeopardy. And Drew would be dumbfounded and devastated, which would be pure air for Congressman Cutthroat. This is the thing that I most want to see, is for him to find out that Willow did it. It's going to be incredible. Will Willow steal Harrison Chase from Brooklyn Quartermain? Another thing Willow might do, which would be super low, is try and steal her ex-husband Harrison Chase down from Brooklyn Quartermain. I mean, we know that Willow obviously has no respect for marriage because she slept with Drew and threw her marriage to Michael down. For months now, Chase has been Willow's biggest champion, one of the many people who has no way misdoubted her innocence, indeed though she's not. Chase risked his career when he took her side over the Bobbies. And over the DA when he was attesting. He indeed got himself suspended to be her champion. Tracy Quartermain just brazen Chase. But he still wouldn't apologize for defending Willow and trying to prove her innocence. He said that he wants justice. Justice, of course, as we know in this trial, presumably isn't going to get served. Since Willow has proven that she's hugely poisonous, I can completely see her trying to catch Chase down from BLQ. Just imagine poor Chase's shock and horror when the verity inescapably comes out that Willow was shamefaced and she shot Drew in cold blood and prevaricated right in Chase's face. Willow targets the Quartermain. Fortune and alimony on General Hospital. Another thing I suppose Willow might do is set herself up for fiscal security for her and the kitties. Don't forget, Michael and Drew are both rich. Willow may push for guardianship and get big fat child support payments from Michael. And also when Willow divorces Drew, she may take him to the cleansers, sue him for a big alimony payday. And also take that house. Willow may go after the plutocrat from both so she doesn't have to calculate on any man or her rich mama, Nina Reeves, for what she and the kitties need. Willow just might enjoy taking plutocrat from Michael and Drew to discipline them and just for the fun of it. Indeed, if she cashes in, Willow may still keep her nursing job at GH, however, to keep up her Little Miss Perfect Goody Two-Shoes persona. Puts Nina in her place on General Hospital. Willow goes full Nelly from hell. Last but not least, I suspect Willow may set some harsh new terms with her mama, Nina. Right now, Willow is playing nice with her mama because she needs Nina by her side in court for the optics, not just for the felonious trial, but presumably also for the guardianship case. Assuming Willow gets that not shamefaced verdict in the felonious case, she may turn around and corner Nina and say, "You're going to do what I say. You're going to help me get my kitties or I'll cut you out of my life and out of the kitties' lives formerly and for all. Willow might tell Nina she doesn't watch that her mama slept with Drew because he's a gourmandizer, but she's taking control and Nina can do it her way or hit the trace. Willow may really scarify Nina and go full Nellie from hell on her like her more evil binary Nellie Benson. Nina, of course, is scarified of losing Willow again. She wants to see the grandkids. So, I'm enough sure Nina would toe the line and do whatever Willow says. So, we'll find out when we get the verdict. But once that not shamefaced comes by, which I suspect just because it's the oleaginous outgrowth, I suppose Willow is going to start doing bad effects nearly right away. General Hospital spoilers are in for the week of January 19, 2026. Suckers can anticipate Emma Scorpio Drake to turn to Nathan West. Willow Tate Kane's verdict causes shockwaves across Port Charles. Plus, Nina Reeves connects with Kai Taylor. Keep reading, and let's talk about what's coming up in the ABC Cleaner pieces. Emma Scorpio Drake connects. Let's launch off with Emma, who just got passionate with Giovanni Gio Palmieri. At that time, Emma admitted to Gio that she was getting really upset about her grandmother. Of course, nothing realizes that Anna Devane is being held hostage and tortured. Next, Emma will turn to Nathan for help. This must have commodity to do with chancing out what really happened to Anna. Meanwhile, Anna will continue to be tortured. Sonny Corinthos' cryptic offer. Now that Willow has a not shamefaced verdict, shockwaves will spread throughout city. Trina Robinson will end up telling Kai that Willow going free might not be each bad. Meanwhile, Alexis Davis wants Drew Kane to stick to his part of the deal. There's also Sonny Corinthos. The mob master wouldn't allow the police to shoot Michael Corinthos to captivity. Also, Sonny ends up making a cryptic offer. Michael Corinthos vs. Harrison Chase. General Hospital spoilers for coming week reveal that Michael will have a tense hassle with Harrison Chase. While Chase was just trying to help a friend, the operative has no idea what he's done. With Willow now free, Michael has a lot further to worry about, including further guardianship chaos. What differently to anticipate? As for what differently to anticipate, Elizabeth Liz Baldwin and Lucas Jones rush to action in the ER. Latterly, Lucas has to deliver ruinous news. That sounds like someone doesn't make it, but whom? Trina opens up to Ava Jerome. While the Golden is privy to a lot of secrets, she also knows effects aren't always black and white. Still, Ava ends up being manipulated by Sonny. Latterly on, Tracy Quartermaine makes an offer to Jason Morgan. Nina ends up participating some advice with Kai. I'm not sure how Trina will feel about Kai relating with Willow's mama. Britt Westbourne gets backed into a corner. It sounds like Jason could find out what she's really doing for that drug. Meanwhile, Jocelyn Jacks turns to someone unanticipated for help. It's also teased that Jordan Ashford brokers in preface. Considering it must have to do with Jen Sidwell, this preface makes her a bit nervous. The winds of Port Charles never truly rest. They swirl through the streets, the hospital corridors, the courthouse halls, and the quiet corners of the Quartermaine estate like whispers of fate itself, carrying secrets, regrets, and the promise of rebirth. And now, as the town stands on the edge of another emotional reckoning, it feels as though everyone is being called to step forward into a new chapter, whether they are ready or not. At the heart of it all is a mother who once fled in fear, a man caught between past and future, and a woman who may soon walk free from the very crime that shattered multiple lives. Sasha's shadow and the promise of return. For months, Sasha Gilmore Corbin has existed more as a memory than a presence in Port Charles, a ghost in the minds of those she left behind. When the stalker threats grew too dangerous, when the walls of safety began to feel paper-thin, she did what any mother would do. She gathered her baby girl, Daisy, and vanished from the town that once promised her love, stability, and a family. Michael Corinthos never stopped her. He stood there, heartbreaking in silence, watching Sasha walk away with the child he barely had a chance to hold, barely had time to dream about. Daisy's absence left a hollow space in him that no business success, no family loyalty, and no romantic spark could truly fill. But whispers are spreading now, quiet rumors, hopeful speculation, that Sasha may finally be ready to come home. Some say the danger has passed. Others say grief may be the force that brings her back. Robert Scorpio's upcoming farewell is expected to draw loved ones from far and wide, and Sasha's connection to him and the people he leaves behind may be enough to anchor her once more in Port Charles. If Sasha returns, she won't come alone. She'll bring Daisy. And with Daisy's return comes a reckoning for Michael, one that could unravel everything he's tried to build in Sasha's absence. Michael's new flame, old fire. Jacinda Bracken entered Michael's life quietly at first, like a soft glow on the horizon after a storm. Their connection didn't feel forced. It felt natural, comforting, and real. She didn't carry the weight of his past mistakes or the scars of old betrayals. With Jacinda, Michael could imagine something simple: peace, laughter, and a future that didn't feel cursed by tragedy. But Port Charles is not a town that allows peace to last. If Sasha steps back into Michael's world, holding Daisy in her arms, carrying memories of what they once shared, the ground beneath Michael's carefully built new life could crack wide open. He might start to see a different future, a united family, Daisy alongside Wiley and Amelia, siblings growing up under the same roof, laughter echoing through hallways instead of courtroom arguments and whispered accusations. Jacinda would feel it. She would see it in Michael's eyes before he ever said a word. That flicker of longing. That pull toward a life that existed before she ever entered the picture. No matter how strong her connection with Michael is, how deep their bond grows, how can she compete with the mother of his child and the history that binds them together? Love, in Port Charles, is rarely just about two people. It's about legacy, bloodlines, and the ghosts of what might have been. Willow's trial, a baptism by fire. While Michael wrestles with his heart, another storm is breaking across town, a legal battle that feels less like a courtroom proceeding and more like a public execution of truth itself. Willow Tate Kane stands at the center of it all, her fate resting in the hands of a jury that has heard lies, half-truths, and carefully polished performances from every side. Alexis Davis, sharp and strategic as ever, delivers her closing argument with a precision that feels almost surgical. Some notice her slip of the tongue. Others wonder if it wasn't a slip at all, but a calculated move designed to plant doubt in the minds of the jurors. Port Charles holds its breath. The verdict could come at the end of the week, or it could stretch into a dramatic Monday reveal, leaving the town suspended in a state of emotional freefall. But many believe the outcome is already written in the stars of soap opera fate. Willow walks free. Not guilty. And when that verdict hits, it won't just end a trial. It will ignite a war. Encouragement and illusions of innocence. If Willow is acquitted, she will step out of that courtroom into the arms of those who never doubted her. Chase, steadfast and loyal, will likely be among them, his belief in her innocence unwavering, his career already bruised from standing by her side when others wouldn't. Nina will hover close, eyes filled with relief and fear all at once, knowing that the woman standing beside her daughter may not be the same one she raised. To the outside world, Willow will appear reborn. Cleansed by the verdict. Baptized in the eyes of public opinion as a wronged woman who survived injustice. But behind that fragile halo of innocence, something darker may be stirring. The first strike, turning on Michael. The district attorney won't let the case die quietly. A high-profile shooting demands accountability, and if Willow isn't the culprit, then someone else must be. Willow may seize that moment. She's already planted the seeds of suspicion, painting Michael as a man capable of violence, a man driven by jealousy and rage. It wouldn't take much for her to push that narrative further: whispered claims, dramatic testimony, fabricated threats. She might say she heard Michael promise revenge. She might swear she saw something in his eyes that night that terrified her. In Port Charles, perception is often more powerful than truth. And if Michael finds himself under investigation, the fallout won't stop with him. The custody battle from hell. Wiley and Amelia become the next battlefield. Willow, emboldened by her freedom, may move fast, filing for emergency custody, claiming her children are in danger with a father who's now under criminal suspicion. If Rick Lansing doesn't take her case, she'll find someone who will. Martin Gray's name could easily rise to the top, especially given his connections and willingness to play dirty when necessary. The courtroom will transform into a new kind of war zone, one where parental love is twisted into a weapon, and every past mistake becomes ammunition. Willow may argue that Michael's relationship with Jacinda makes him unfit, that his judgment is flawed, that his home is unstable. Michael, desperate and furious, will fight back, but the damage may already be done. And if Willow succeeds, Michael won't just lose Daisy to distance and circumstance. He'll lose Wiley and Amelia to legal maneuvering and emotional manipulation. Drew's karma and the threat of truth. Drew Kane, battered and recovering, may believe the worst is behind him. But Willow's freedom could mark the beginning of his real nightmare. She might wait until she no longer needs him, until her children are back in her arms, until her legal standing feels secure. Then she could strike. A cold confession. A cruel smile. I did it. And with those words, she could shatter Drew's world, invoking double jeopardy as her shield, daring him to scream the truth into a system that can no longer touch her. It would be the ultimate revenge. The ultimate power move. Chase, Brooklyn, and a dangerous temptation. Chase has stood by Willow when no one else would. He's defended her, risked everything for her, believed in her when the evidence pointed elsewhere. And that loyalty may make him vulnerable. Willow could exploit that bond, stepping closer, blurring lines, reminding him of what they once shared. Brooklyn, watching from the sidelines, may sense the shift before Chase does, the way Willow's gaze lingers, the way her words carry a different kind of warmth. If Willow makes a move, the fallout could devastate more than just one relationship. It could tear apart trust, friendships, and the fragile alliances holding Port Charles together. Money, power, and a new kind of control. With two wealthy men tied to her life, Willow may see opportunity as clearly as she sees vengeance. Child support from Michael. Alimony from Drew. A house, financial security, and the ability to stand on her own without relying on Nina or anyone else. But money in Port Charles is never just about comfort. It's about power. And Willow may relish the idea of taking from the very men she believes wronged her. Nina's reckoning. Nina Reeves has walked on eggshells around her daughter for years, terrified of losing her again. If Willow steps into her darker side, Nina may find herself cornered, given an ultimatum that leaves no room for compromise. Help me. Or lose me. And lose your grandchildren. Nina, heart in her throat, will likely bend. Because in Port Charles, love is often the chain that binds you to the very people who hurt you most. The town reacts. While Willow's storm rages, other stories unfold in parallel. Emma Scorpio Drake, worried sick about her grandmother, reaches out to Nathan West, determined to uncover the truth about Anna's disappearance. Sonny Corinthos, ever the puppet master, makes a cryptic offer that hints at protection, power, and consequences for anyone who tries to take Michael down. Trina finds comfort in Ava's sharp-edged wisdom, even as Ava herself becomes entangled in Sonny's manipulations. Elizabeth and Lucas race through the hospital corridors, delivering news that could shatter a family's world. Jason receives an offer from Tracy that may change the balance of power at the Quartermain estate. And in the shadows, Britt Westbourne finds herself backed into a corner, her secrets threatening to spill into the open. A town on the brink. Port Charles stands at a crossroads. A mother may return with a child and reopen an old love story. A woman may walk free and begin a reign of chaos. Families may be torn apart in courtrooms instead of living rooms. And somewhere in the middle of it all, Michael Corinthos must decide who he is, what he stands for, and which future he's willing to fight for. Because in this town, every ending is just another beginning. And every beginning comes with a warning.